Evening. Right with you. It's been 7 years since my last confession. And in that time, I've done some really depraved things. Some of them probably against the laws of nature. But let's not talk about that shit. Let's talk about some happy shit. Um, Holiday disappointments, for instance. Third year in a row, I asked Santa for a whore for Christmas. And third year in a row, I was disappointed. Personally, I think he's waiting to get himself enough so he can open up a whorehouse. I think he's going to call it the North Pole. But anyway, once I climbed a water tower just for fun. At the time, I didn't realize I could fall and die. Then one day I climbed one and almost couldn't climb down. And that was the end of that shit. Once I found myself on my knees wearing a dog collar and a leash, a pair of handcuffs, and my wife's panties over my head. I was a naughty little doggy that day. I've done a lot of crazy shit. Obviously, I survived all that, but I shouldn't have. Anybody that's never tripped on mushrooms, personally, I recommend it. I think that everybody should try mushrooms at least once. It's fantastic. Sort of like a friendly version of acid. Because basically, what mushrooms do is it gives you an overdose of the chemicals that are in your brain, or I don't know, some fancy shit like that. I feel, I feel that even my mother should have done mushrooms once. I don't know that it necessarily would have made her a better mother, but it would have made her a whole lot more fun to be around, you know. Mom, no, everything's fine. I tell you what, if you try them, you will definitely see things that move, see things move that shouldn't. Um, so I recommend you have a tour guide, you know, somebody to walk you through the experience, you know, and because so when you see weird, okay, they can be tripping too, but if you've never tripped before, it'll still be better than you by yourself. I mean, when you're being stalked by a blue elephant or something like that, you need to know that that elephant doesn't really exist. I think that's important. Um, After all, personally, I wouldn't want to believe that there's a blue elephant chasing me. The time that I tripped, it was nighttime, and at first, the first thing that I noticed is you know this part where your hand ends and your fingers begin, right? Well, it started doing this shit back and forth. It was really interesting. And he took me outside, and I look at the lawn, side of the sidewalk there, and it looked like the ground was boiling. Fucking green, grass-covered bubbles everywhere. And then I got to thinking maybe it's hamsters running around under the sod. No, when I first started this here just now, I talked about depraved shit. Well, hamsters come under that category, and like I said, we're just not gonna go there. It's just depraved, you know. If you drive drunk now and you get zapped, you pay fucking big time. But I tell you, this is gonna give everybody a clue. Say, hey, this motherfucker's old. Okay, yeah, whatever. Back in the 70s, the attitude was way different about drunk driving. In the 70s, if you got pulled over, especially in like small town America, you know, you get pulled over and the cop walks over you. You been drinking tonight, Martin? Yeah. You going home? Yeah. See that you get there. No shit. That really happened to me. I can't even fucking believe it. Once me and my sweetie were coming back from the bars, driving home about 6 miles to the town where we lived, and a cop pulls out, pulls us over, and we drank like 6 pitchers between us, so we were definitely a little fucked up. And Wendy, my sweetie, she starts freaking out a bit, and this is the only time that I ever talked to her like this. I looked at her and I said, Wendy, shut the fuck up. I need to get my shit together. And she calmed down. She gave me a cigarette, and I put a coin in my mouth because they say that fucking, I don't know. Anyway, the cop, well, you had a light out. Oh. And, you know, this and that. Lets us go. Every time that I go out and drink and I drive, I know I'm dancing with the devil. Risky fucking business. Anyway, that's about all I got to say. Fuck off and good night.